Well, the atmosphere here is really buzzing, Gemma, but as you might be able to see behind me, the weather, at least for the moment, is not playing along. We've had a bit of a downpour here in Samoa, leaving an awful lot of people drenched. But spirits are unbowed. Most people are really excited about this event. It's just absolute bedlam in the centre of Apia this morning, with motorcades zipping about and a sense of optimism when you speak to most people here about what this event can do for Samoa. Not only is it bringing a huge infusion of people and potentially a large infusion of cash into the city centre, most people here are excited about the fact that there'll be an awful lot of media from around the world, an awful lot of leaders here. They think that that offers them a really valuable platform to talk about the issues that really matter to them. And as we heard earlier from Miles, at the top of that list is undoubtedly climate change.
Yeah, so tell us more about these main issues that are likely to dominate the week.
Well, when it comes to climate change, there are a couple of things that are really going to be sharply in focus. At the top of the list possibly is climate finance. One common complaint from a large number of developing countries in the Commonwealth, that's not just Pacific nations, but also Caribbean island nations and, of course, African nations, which have a huge presence in the Commonwealth, has been that they simply can't get access to climate finance as quickly as they need it to deal with the cascading impacts that we're seeing now from climate change. So there's a frustration that when they go through big international bodies, it's simply too long, too laborious and too clunky a process. Now, the Commonwealth has played a role here. It's mobilised some $350 million in climate finance. It wants to mobilise another $500 million. But I think it's likely that developed nations who are a part of the Commonwealth, like Australia, like the United Kingdom, and like Canada, just for example, are probably going to come under some pressure here at CHOGM, not just over their fossil fuel subsidies, but also over that issue of climate finance. Perhaps there might be some demands for countries like Australia to step up with greater contributions to some of those international funds. Now, yesterday the ABC spoke to Patricia Scotland. She's the current and outgoing Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, and she said that climate change was really the #1 issue on its agenda for this meeting here in Samoa. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
The thing I know is that we have a choice. We can either work together, swim together, or we can drown separately.
Has the controversy over Lydia Thorpe's protest in front of King Charles in Canberra caught attention in Samoa, Stephen?
Yeah, it has caught a bit of attention. I don't want to overstate it. I don't think it's a hot topic discussion around many villages here, but some Samoans on social media, for example, have picked up on that, and it has kick-started perhaps another interesting conversation around colonialism and where Samoa and the Pacific fits more broadly in that piece. Now, as you mentioned, Samoa has made it clear that this is not its main priority at the meeting, that climate change is at the top of the agenda, but inevitably these issues will bubble up again, and I think the protest from Lydia Thorpe will possibly give it a little bit more prominence. The question, of course, is what can the Commonwealth or what can the United Kingdom do about it? Some African nations in particular have called on the United Kingdom and others to actually make reparations. That issue seems to be a bit of a non-starter because Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, has effectively ruled that out, along with any sort of formal apology. But all three African candidates to replace Patricia Scotland have said that they are in favour of reparatory justice of some kind. So even if it's only at the end of this meeting, I think this issue is likely to be raised by Commonwealth leaders.
Stephen Jedget's there in Apia, Samoa. Thank you.